Well, I genuinely wish that I could see Harry and Meghan's visits to the fire-affected areas of Los Angeles with a very grateful heart. I truly do. You might think I'm being sarcastic. I'm absolutely not. Because wouldn't it be wonderful if we could live in a world where people always came to the aid of those people who needed it? Believe me, I absolutely yearn for that kind of world. And in some ways, I work towards that ideal in my life beyond this show. But I've got to say, the human species has a very good radar. And all of my instincts, and certainly some of the facts, tell me that when old Harry and Meghan showed up at the epicenter of the LA devastation, it wasn't at all about what they wanted to give, but what they wanted to take. So, with one hand, they gave away a few bags of cloves, and in return, they stole a couple of $100,000 worth, in my estimation, of free branding. Let's not forget that when the tragic Grenfell fire occurred in 2017, if you haven't heard of it, look it up, it was in the UK, Meghan rushed to the aid of survivors. And that wasn't unusual as part of her then royal duties. Fantastic, in fact. But it was her desperate need to make sure that the world knew that she'd been some kind of saviour. And more importantly, that it was her explicit idea for the affected women to create a cookbook. Well, let's just say her desire to turn the spotlight on herself rather than on the victims and the need was nauseating.
When I watched these women laughing together and grieving together, I said, why can't you do this every day of the week? And they said, well, we don't have the funds for it. And I just looked around and I said, well, we should make a cookbook.
Rest assured, she pauses for effect after that stunning claim, we should make a cookbook. She has the most childish, oh, I'm so clever expression on her face. It is nauseating. And it's actually concerning because that elite level need for affirmation, well, it's clinical. Meghan thrives on affirmation. She's told that story of changing the sexist TV commercial when she was a girl. Have you heard that one? She's heard it so many times that I've lost count. You can go and look into it. Her version of events about that commercial, they simply don't add up. She truly believes in this delusion of hers that it was her letter to Hillary Clinton as a girl that was the catalyst for change. But it's simply not so. And now she's visited the LA fires conveniently with press in tow to capture every moment. She even stomped over a charred property, a private property. I want you to think about that. Your property burns down, and while you're away, evacuated, a celebrity tours, that was her word, I'm touring, and inspects the burnt remains of your life. You may remember Justine Bateman. She was on Family Ties, and a lot of you won't because you're not that old. But she's pretty awesome, actually. She's a great actress. She posted that Meghan and Harry's visit to the fire zone made them nothing more than, her words, disaster tourists. There's no way of knowing if Meghan or Harry's heart was in the right place. I keep a slightly open mind to that. There's a possibility that Tim's wrong. They certainly did donate clothes. They visited more than once. But guess what? It was that baseball cap on Meghan's head. The universal celebrity symbol for, please look at me while I pretend I don't want to be noticed. Well, that was the clincher for me. Harry's too. As I say, all my human instincts tell me Meghan was there as a branding opportunity. She was flitting her eyes over to make sure the cameras were there on more than one occasion and embracing a person who, interestingly, is reported to be one of her staff. I'm not sure if that's true. You've probably seen a sort of fairly high-profile photo of Meghan embracing with all her earnestness some poor, unsuspecting woman. Well, it turns out she might not be a poor, unsuspecting woman because I saw the footage of her leaving with Meghan and Harry at the end of the visit. And make of that what you will. I watched the entire raw footage, unedited, of these two at the fireside, and what I saw was utterly ghoulish. And then there's the wording of their statements about the fire. They were so utterly directive and privileged, telling people which organisations to donate to and pointing out that it was their Archwell Foundation that was serving meals to first responders. And then the latest statement telling us that they've taken the extraordinary step of postponing her new Netflix show. So, In summary, we have a series of statements and a visit to a charred private property, and all while the tragedy was still unfolding. Yuck. Tacky. Absolutely tasteless. And true examples, in my opinion, of absolutely shameless self promotion. Hey, Laura, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for letting me have that rant. Can I read you Justine Bateman's full post before I get your thoughts about this?
Yes, please.
Because I thought it was really well put together. She put it up on Instagram. She wrote, Meghan Markle and Harry are no better than ambulance chasers. What a repulsive photo op they achieved. They are touring the damage, in inverted commas. Are they politicians now? They don't live here. They are tourists. Disaster tourists. What are your thoughts, Laura? Am I being too harsh?
No, I mean, I have to agree. I mean, Justine Bateman got it right on the ball there. I mean, me again, or whatever, me gain. She just gets it wrong
I've
every
never
time.
thought of it like that. Sorry. Me gain.
Me gain with big capital letters in the GAIN, or
Oh,
me
that's awesome.
again. Um,
Oh,
she's
dear.
I mean, what was it? The Netflix guy, or was it that podcast guy that said they're nothing but a bunch of grifters?
Yeah.
And literally, they are. I mean, their profile at the moment is not great, and the feedback from that Netflix with Love Megan show is bad. If you look, it's like, I think it was over 20,000 bad negative feedback that Netflix have left the comments on. I think it's on Facebook on their Netflix.
Yeah. And YouTube, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I just think, what reality is she in? I'm not sure about Harry, whether he is just going along for the ride. I mean, I just wonder. I mean, when she got married, everyone was like, "Yeah, let's watch the wedding. This is going to be good." You know, it's someone new, it's someone refreshing, and it just went downhill from then.
From the very first moment he held hands and introduced her to the world, I said to my son and a good friend during a podcast, I think, I said, this lady's going to put Fergie in the shade. If you think she was scandalous in the day, this one wants to destroy, because Diana and Fergie had their problems with the royal family, but they believe in the royal family and the institution. Meghan, right from day one, no, she's out to destroy. But do you think it came crashing down more broadly because people started, human instincts kick in, don't they, Laura? And you start to know, hang on, I think this person's purpose is more self-seeking than it is about benevolence.
Yeah, I think it was just a lot of things. I think the wedding, I remember my mum coming out to stay, and she said, "Let's watch the wedding." We got tiaras, we put tiaras on, and it was like a big event. Through the wedding, we were looking at each other going, "What is going on? This is not a traditional British royal wedding." It was just weird. And from then I started to think, who is this woman? And where has she come from? And this isn't the royal, like people go, oh, things have changed, the royal family we should, they shouldn't be there anymore. But I don't know, it's the fairy tale. Little girls, they want to know that there's such a thing as a princess living in a castle, and she had the chance to do something good. What like Catherine is doing, etc. But she cosplays Diana so much, it's not funny.
Yeah.
And the with the feedback from the Netflix show, I watched the trailer and thought, you've got to be kidding me.
Did you hear the first words in that trailer? Do you want me to repeat them to you? Because I've certainly got them emblazoned on my brain.
Yes, please.
The very first words in that trailer, I like to take ordinary things and elevate them.
Yes.
Give me a break. Are you for real? I like to take ordinary things and elevate them. That's the lead message.
But it's not even her place. She's rented it off somebody else. It's not her garden. I mean, if you're going to do something like that, go to some normal person's house and go, right, let's have a look at what you've got in your garden, how we can make a nice meal and how we can...
Like Don Burke.
Yeah.
Who you probably don't know over there, but there you go.
but something that's kind of a little bit more relatable. I mean,
in touch.
come on. And she doesn't know how to cook. I think she's just trying to steal Catherine's sister, who did all those party planning books and things like that. But it's because of the feedback from that show. I think with the LA fires, it's sort of like, oh, how could we kind of uplift our profile? But the two of them, I think with, the Oprah show, and how there was that backlash of the racist comments and everything, and then I think Harry did an interview. I can't remember which one it was, and he basically said, "We never said that."
Absolutely, that was with his friend too. Even his friend's face almost fell to the floor.
Yeah, he was like, "What?" And I was thinking, and that's when I think it just all started to fall apart. It was like,
and sorry, not only denied that they'd said it, but then blamed the media,
knowing that 2 years the royal family suffered with headlines and things, and to think of the Queen. I mean, I thought Harry was quite close with the Queen, and just everything. Just nasty, like even in that show that they did where she did the fake curtsy, and she was like medieval times, and I thought, you little, ooh, and the look on Harry's face, and I thought, God, man, grow some balls, like
that look on his face as she did the curtsy in the Netflix. And the other thing that fascinates me is that they would have had some say over the edit, so they've looked at it and thought, let's leave that in, which is bizarre. But he had exactly the same look on his face when they toured the fires. I watched the raw footage, as I said. That's how tragic I am. I watched the whole, 15 minutes of it, unedited, no commentator over the top, so I can make my own assessment. And every time, she was really awkward, actually. I don't think it shows up in the news clips, but she's really awkward. And he just pulls that face so many times as she leans in and accosts people with her hugs. And
because she's not genuine. She's literally a narcissist, sociopath, because if he wasn't there, she wouldn't know what to do. She doesn't know how to engage genuinely with people. It's the claw of, you watch all the clips of her with Harry, she's grabbing him and taking him away when she's finished.
Yeah.
And it's the, like you said in the start, around how she's constantly looking, where are the cameras? And she changes her. You see her change her whole facial, features and her response when she sees the camera straight on her. Like, look at me.
And we've all known a couple like that too. Forget the celebrity aspect, but we've all been in a social group where, a guy gets a new girlfriend, or the other way around, a new partner, and you can see the control, and you can see it early on, and you can also see how the person who's so besotted by the other one is deluded because they're not seeing this because they're so enthralled. She would call it, I'm opening Harry's eyes to the world. I'm teaching him about colonialism, about unconscious bias, and this is making him a better man, all the things that he might have missed out on in that institution. And in some ways, fantastic. We should enlighten each other when we're in a partnership. But she is doing it for all the wrong reasons. As you say, I don't believe Meghan knows who she is at all, because everything she does is confected, strategized, and done so that she can be perceived in a certain way. And I feel, Laura, in that, I feel really sorry for her, because there's not a single person listening who doesn't know what it's like to be lost for a time, to not know who you are. You come out of a relationship maybe and you go, fuck, well, who am I now? Well, she's like that permanently. And what a exhausting place for Meghan to be in, to always need to know how she's been perceived, either in private situations or public. It must be exhausting.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think she doesn't know, but it's just the Harry. When he's not with her, he's a totally different person, and when he's with her, he just looks unhappy, and it looks to me like literally narcissistic abuse, which you don't realize if you're in that relationship. You don't know. It's just wearing you down each time. She's got something on him. I don't know. I just think she's got something on him for him to have left his family, to move to another country, to not even. I mean, he missed his his grandmother dying. He got there too late.
Well, and the Oprah Winfrey interview was done whilst Prince Philip was dying.
Yeah, there's something not right for me. I'm just like, I don't, because he was so. And have you read his book, Spear?
Yeah.
It's like, I started reading it and I no way. I got it out of the library and I just thought, I'm not spending the money to to buy it, but it was just the most weirdest book, and just like a spoilt little brat. And I just thought, you've got to be joking, mate. Like, I think she's just played on a lot of things.
When you say she's got something over him, I believe you're right, but I don't know if it's what you're sort of implying there, some piece of information. I believe it's just that she knows how to tap into, hey, I can tell you why you are feeling so empty. And then she paints and constructs this new world, which he will cotton onto eventually. Can I say, we've been rather harsh, Laura, you and I, but I spoke to Amber Clare, who's an Australian entertainer, recently, and she thinks that I'm rather harsh. So I'm just going to paint the other side of the story, and then I'll get you and I to respond.
And regardless of what happened with, the royal family and how they were sort of outed by them and they chose to leave, I think what I've been most impressed about is them being pretty much boots on the ground, helping people as soon as they heard about this. They were some of the first people that went down there and actually volunteered without planning the cameras to be there and the paparazzi to be there. They just went there in good faith to help people and do as much as they could to, help brighten people's days. And I thought that was really very sweet of them. And I think there was no motive behind it. I think it was just where their heart was.
I really appreciate you giving the alternative perspective, I have to say, Amber, because you and I won't agree on this, and that's absolutely fine. The question is, what was the motivation?
Yeah, I think it was pretty genuine. I'm usually pretty honest when it comes to stuff that seems like it was planned or a camera opportunity. But with this, I think it was definitely a really something that they had in their heart to want to do, especially that she's from here. And I think it was really impressive. I thought, it was very nice of them to take the time and do that. And she didn't just do it that day. She went back another day and helped the Altadena Girls Club as well, and helped hand out different packages for the girls that had lost like their makeup or whatever it was that made them feel special and pretty, and they lost everything, and she was there to help them with those supplies. And I just thought it was really sweet.
That was Amber Clare, and I would love it if everyone looked her up on Spotify. She makes fantastic music. She lives in LA, in the areas where the fires are occurring and still are occurring. Her music's often 80s inspired too. Well worth a look. But Laura, Amber, challenged me. She said, why am I reading so much into it? Why can't I just accept that Meghan and Harry arrived in a disaster zone with bags of clothes and to give people a little bit of light and a bit of joy in a time of darkness? Are you and I too cynical?
No, I just think because you can see right through it. It's just frustrating because I mean, no offense to Amber Clare, but like, no way, I don't agree. If you're genuinely doing something, you wouldn't have the cameras all over you. The fake hug that she gave was to a celebrity chef. That wasn't even to a disaster victim. And the fact that they toured someone's property that couldn't even get back to see what their house was like because they weren't allowed through the blocks is just not okay. They brought a security team with them. Yeah. And it's the fact that it's photo ops. You don't see them in the background where you see some celebrities that are kind of doing stuff and the cameras are well back in the distance and they're kind of like, look at them over there doing stuff. That would be different. It's the fact that they're like, look at me, like you say with the baseball cap and stuff. Like, she's not even from that area. They're not even, that's like they've come in to go, let's just have a look around, take some photos, and then we're just going to head back to our mansion. It's perfectly fine, although I've heard that the fire was getting close there. And I think the return the next day was because she got so much bad press the first day that they hit the headlines around grifters and disaster tourists that she kind of, we'll just pay for lunch for those women and maybe that'll turn it around. It isn't. The reputation of the two of them is just grifters and liars. Nothing.
A totally different story, Laura. If we heard about it a couple of months from now and we read, apparently during the fires, Meghan and Harry were, inside some of those emergency centres and they had private conversations with some of the victims and they donated this, that and the other, money, whatever, then hats off, right? Exactly. I mean, even that might have been leaked, but it would be less I mean, I not tend to agree with you. I totally agree with you that it's all theatre, right down to the denim shirt with the rolled up sleeves. I'm here to help. You know, it's she puts so much thought into the messaging. Oh, it's nauseating, and it makes me feel sick because if it was just the world of celebrity, we're used to this. You and I actually thrive in it. We buy into it. We like it when people create an image and put it out there and it's either bratish or diva-ish or whatever. But this is a tragedy. You can't go and stomp over someone's private property and sort of coyly look to make sure the cameras are oh, I'm just going to embrace you for an extra 3 seconds. I'm not sure if they've got the angle right yet. Jesus Christ. They're hideous.
But also, you would have, like those fire, and it absolutely must be absolutely devastating. I cannot imagine. I mean, I lost my house in the earthquake here in Christchurch, and it was the worst thing ever. So it's not the same, but you realise what's important and what's not. But the fact that when they were touring those places, they were only there for 17 minutes. Now, if you're genuinely wanting to help out, you certainly wouldn't be going touring the ruins of someone's property. You'd be out there. I would be all day working long hours and being, right, how can we get packs together? Can we get some clothes donated and sorting stuff, that sort of thing? And you'd be working like for hours, 8 hours, plus. But 17 minutes and then let's just disappear, that was totally for cameras. That's not genuine, we want to help out at all.
And just in case some people are going to counter-argue that, they probably just didn't want to distract attention, so they only dropped in and dropped out. Well, then don't drop in at all. If the argument is, well, we didn't want to stay for longer than 17 minutes because we didn't want to detract from the work that the frontline workers were doing, then don't effing turn up at all. Because that's what they'd say, Laura. If they were here right now, they'd go, if we stayed all day, would have caused a scene and security issues. It's like, well, if you can do that by staying all day, you can also do it for your 17-minute drop-in. I almost can't stand talking about them. I feel so sorry for the pair of them. She must be in such pain and exhausted to spend her lifetime thinking about every colour, every strand of hair. She's just always in the mode of actor. Anyway, Laura, you and I see totally eye to eye on this. Just before you go, what's exciting you in the world of celebrity at the moment? Are you coming to the Kylie shows in Sydney?
Possibly. I've got a friend over there who's got tickets, but I just need to see if I can get time off work from the college I work at, and they don't open till next week. So fingers crossed I can get leave. But
let's pretend. Let's role play. You walk up to your boss.
Yeah.
This is the one time in your life, Laura, you don't say, look, I would like to request a period of leave, please. You go up to your boss and you go, I'm having the 1st of March off and there's nothing you can do about it because Kylie's in the Southern Hemisphere. Now, rack off. That's how you do it.
Love it.
How would that go down?
He'd probably look at me sideways and be like, yeah, that's Laura.
Clearly, he respects you. I like it. No, you have to. You have to get over it. You can't miss the attention to her. It could very well be the last huge tour of her career, which is a bit depressing and horrible for me to say, but it might be.
Yeah. I think it may be, to be honest.
Yeah.
She's I don't like to say it, we all are, but she's getting on in years, and I think it's quite that's the last time she did a world tour was quite a while back. So, yeah.
I think we'll have plenty more tours, but I'm just talking about to this. I'm more talking about the finances behind it because she's touring the whole United States. I think it's going to look big budget. I think it's going to look every bit as big as Aphrodite and all the other mammoths that have come before. So, yeah, please don't miss out. What a shame she's not coming to New Zealand. How dare she?
I know. She only toured once, and it was for X.
Yeah.
And it was one date that they'd planned, and it sold out, so they did a second night, and obviously that sold out. And then she never came back.
I know. Like, come on now, poor New Zealand fans. There's a lot of you too. There's a lot of you.
Yes. Yeah. Kylie to the end. Yep.
Laura, it's been lovely talking to you. Thank you. And let's stay in touch. Let's celebrate this era of Kylie's tour because the next thing to come is the Someone for Me video, I think, which, by the way, there's a man in it. I can't remember his name. You Are Not Me or something like that, some DJ. And when I heard the song, I was waiting to hear some rap or some male voice. No, it's just the same song with a little bit of extra bass from what I can tell. What did you make of it?
This, yeah, is it You Not Us or something like that? He's got a
You're
fun
Not
name.
Us. There you go.
Yeah, I thought the same. Somebody had kind of leaked something on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I remember listening to it and I thought, oh, they've got it wrong. That sounds exactly like the album version. And then I thought, okay, there's nothing different. What's been all this promo? But I kind of thought, wouldn't she release the video at the same time as that?
Yes.
Like I love the new look though. I love it.
Oh, the look is in fact, it reminds me of when she released the pink Kylie book. She had this sort of very light brown, and slightly wavy. It's reminding me of that look. If somebody had told me the photos were from that era, I would believe. She opened, I think Fox Studios were opened in Sydney around that time. Anyway, it was all happening. But yeah, like interesting, like you, I thought, where's the video? How come it's not dropping at the same time? This sounds. I do like it. It is more DJ and slightly, it's a harder sound. But Laura, she got rid of the last bit, which was my favourite. At the end, the music sort of stops and she mouths the words, "I'm happy for you, but selfishly, have you got someone for me, or do you have someone for me?" That's gone now. So my favourite part of the song's also been erased. What do you do? Terrible. It's a tragedy.
It is.
Not quite up there with the LA fires, but it's and we've spoken about two tragedies today. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Laura, lovely talking.
You too.